They thought they could get away with it. The View, a show that claims to uplift women, just exposed its own hypocrisy in the most brutal way. When Joy Behar dismissed Karoline Leavitt's entire career with a single, shallow remark, she didn't just attack one woman, she exposed an entire system built on double standards. But this time, the backlash was instant. The internet exploded, ABC panicked, and Leavitt? She didn't just fight back, she dismantled their narrative with cold, hard facts. This isn't just another media controversy. This is the moment The View lost control. Stay tuned, because what happens next will leave you speechless. They did it again. The View, a show that claims to stand for women's empowerment, has once again contradicted its own message. This time, it was Joy Behar who sparked outrage, making a remark that instantly sent shockwaves across social media. Her target? Karoline Leavitt. The accusation? That she only landed her position because of her looks, a comment that would have been condemned if it came from the other side. But since it happened on The View, did they think they would get away with it? The backlash was immediate. People saw right through it. If The View was supposed to champion women, why was it tearing one down? Joy Behar wasn't just attacking Leavitt. She was exposing the hypocrisy of the entire show. And ABC? They were about to face a problem bigger than they ever anticipated. Critics were quick to point out that this wasn't just an attack on Leavitt, but an attack on all conservative women who dare to succeed in a world that is often hostile toward their ideology. The response from the public was loud and clear. This was unacceptable. For those who don't know, Karoline Leavitt is more than just a face on TV. She's a rising force in politics, known for her sharp communication skills and fearless stance on conservative values. At just 27 years old, she's held key positions in the White House, proving that her career is built on merit, not appearance. Yet, somehow, Joy Behar thought she could dismiss all that with a single comment? The irony is astonishing. Leavitt started her career working in the Trump administration, where she quickly earned a reputation as a sharp and articulate voice in political circles. Unlike many who climb the ladder of success through privilege, she worked her way up, proving her intelligence and capability at every step. Her dedication and political insight have made her a rising star, and whether one agrees with her views or not, it's undeniable that she has made a name for herself based on hard work and ability. That's what makes Behar's comment all the more outrageous. It attempts to erase years of dedication with a single dismissive remark. The moment Joy Behar made that remark, the internet exploded. The idea that a woman's success could be reduced to her looks coming from a panel that preaches empowerment was a slap in the face to viewers. And this wasn't just any remark. It was a statement that carried weight, reinforcing a damaging narrative that The View claims to fight against. Behar's comment wasn't made in isolation. It followed a well-documented pattern of dismissing conservative women by focusing on their looks or questioning their legitimacy. Viewers were outraged, pointing out that if the same comment had been made about a liberal woman, the backlash would have been immediate and severe. It wasn't just conservatives who were upset. Many independent and even liberal viewers called out the hypocrisy. Women from all political backgrounds saw it for what it was, a cheap shot meant to undermine a woman who didn't fit The View's preferred narrative. This isn't new. The View has a track record of discrediting conservative women. They did it with Kayleigh McEnany. They did it with Sarah Huckabee Sanders. They've done it with Elise Stefanik. The pattern is undeniable. If you're a conservative woman, your achievements are disregarded. But if you align with their views, you're celebrated. The hypocrisy is glaring. A show that claims to uplift women should be the first to support female leaders, regardless of their political affiliation. But instead, The View has consistently used its platform to belittle and delegitimize those who don't conform to their ideological mold. What does this say about their so-called feminism? Is it really about empowering women? Or is it just about empowering women who think exactly like them? If the latter is true, then The View is guilty of the very discrimination they claim to oppose. Leavitt wasn't about to let this slide. She didn't get defensive. She didn't play the victim. Instead, she hit back with facts, intelligence, and pure confidence. She called out the double standards, exposed the contradictions, and stood her ground in a way that left The View scrambling. Instead of stooping to Behar's level, she took the high road, using her response to not only defend herself, but also call attention to the broader issue of media bias against conservative women. She pointed out how this wasn't just about her, it was about the way the media systematically tries to discredit conservative voices through shallow, baseless attacks. She wasn't there to be ridiculed, she was there to be heard. And by the time she was done, even her critics had to admit she wasn't just there because of her looks. She was there because she earned it. Her response resonated far beyond that moment. It sparked a wider conversation about how conservative women are treated in mainstream media. It wasn't just a win for Leavitt, it was a wake-up call for many who had ignored this pattern for too long. If The View thought they could sweep this under the rug, they underestimated the internet. Social media erupted, calling out Joy Behar, calling out the hypocrisy, calling out the network for allowing this nonsense to continue. Hashtags were trending. Viewers were furious. Even people who didn't agree with Leavitt politically were saying, this was wrong. And ABC, they were about to feel the consequences. Behind the scenes, ABC was in full-blown panic mode. Sources reported that executives were scrambling to contain the mess. The network was already walking on thin ice with previous controversies, and this was just another headache they didn't need. There were whispers that even some higher-ups were questioning if Joy Behar had gone too far this time. Was she still an asset to the show, or had she become a liability? Then came the bombshell. A lawsuit. Karoline Leavitt wasn't just going to let this slide in the court of public opinion, she was taking legal action. Defamation, character assassination, whatever you wanted to call it, ABC now had a legal mess on their hands. And here's the kicker. If this lawsuit goes forward, it could set a precedent. It could finally force mainstream media to think twice before recklessly targeting conservative women. This controversy isn't just about The View. It's about a much bigger problem: media bias. How conservative voices, especially women, are treated in mainstream media. How they are dismissed, ridiculed, and slandered, all while the same media outlets claim to support women's empowerment. This incident ripped the mask off, exposing what so many people already knew. If you don't align with their agenda, they will try to silence you. But what happens when people refuse to be silenced? So what happens now? Will The View finally be held accountable? Will ABC take action against Joy Behar? Or will they continue to brush this under the rug, hoping it will blow over? And what about Karoline Leavitt? If anything, this entire debacle has only made her stronger. More people are paying attention. More people are listening. And if The View thought they could silence her, they just made her voice even louder. One thing is for sure, people are waking up. They're seeing the hypocrisy for what it is, and they're not letting it slide anymore. If you agree, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Let's make sure this story doesn't get buried.